Hi, I'm Chef Michael Schwartz. Thanks for visiting bluestarfoods.com. Today we're going to make a crab and calabaza soup. It's a great hearty soup. We're going to use the claw meat, which is very economical, but the claw meat adds a kind of a robust, kind of a sweetness, good assertive flavor. So we're going to get right to it. And what I've done was I toasted some pumpkin seeds. Once they're cool, we're just going to turn them out on the board and just give them a quick chop. So this is going to be for the garnish of the soup. So we want to just kind of break them up a little bit. You could chop them. You could pulse them in a food processor. You could kind of put your knife down like that and stab at them. Then we're just going to mix them in this bowl right here with some scallions. So we're just going to give that a quick stir. I'm going to set that aside for garnish for later. Now in a pot, we're going to add a little bit of butter. And we're going to cook some onions and garlic. When we make a soup, we want to start to build flavor, build layers of flavor. So we want to add the calabaza to the onions. We're going to give that a stir. So we want to let that cook for just about 4 or 5 minutes. It's been about 5 minutes. You can see it's starting to get a little bit of color here. The onions got a little translucent. The squash starts to break down a little bit. We're going to add a little bit of fresh thyme. And we're going to add a couple cups of white wine. So we're going to give that a stir. We're going to let the white wine do its thing for a second. Then we're going to talk about the next ingredient, which is clam juice. And, you know, for me, it's a great secret ingredient. Lots of recipes call for fish stock. Nobody has time to make fish stock. Sometimes you substitute water. Clam juice is readily available. So we're going to go ahead and add 2 bottles of clam juice. A little bit of heavy cream. And, of course, the crab meat. Another shot of salt and pepper. So we're going to go ahead and add a little bit of sugar. We're going to give it one more stir. Then we're going to turn the heat down and let it simmer for about 15 minutes. So the soup's been simmering away. You can see that it's starting to come together. It smells really great. Looks great. It's starting to thicken up a little bit. So at this point, I'm going to add a little bit of hot sauce. And I just want to stir that in quickly. A trick that I like for this soup to give it some real body and some richness is I'm going to take a couple cups of it, just a couple cups, and we're going to puree it and add it back to the soup. And what that'll do is it'll thicken it up without waiting for it to cook down. And also, a lot of times when you cook a soup down too much, it'll start to get a little bit too intense and a little bit too strong. So the flavor's great right now. We're going to take just 2 cups in the blender, hot liquid. I'm just going to cover it with a towel and give it a blend. Look at that. And we're going to add that back. And that's really going to give it its body. And then we're going to plate it up. A couple ladles right in this bowl. And always, as with everything, texture and contrast in texture is great. So we have our pumpkin seeds. They're toasted, mixed with scallions, great garnish, right in the middle. Gives it a crunch, a little bit of brightness from the scallions. I'm Chef Michael Schwartz. You can find this recipe, along with many others like it, by logging on to bluestarfoods.com.